You are listening to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
Stepping up the ring and onto the mic. Golden locks, throwing shades on tight. I rule the airwaves, I own the night. Crank up the volume, feel the heat. Down, turn up the dial, let me preach. Running this town with a steel cake smile. When the bell rings, I do it with style. I'm the Lord of Saturday night. One hand thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fight. Bow down, cause I rule tonight. Taking the mic, bodies said the truth, no fear, no fright. Bow down, cause I rule tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to RAWF After Hours live from Toronto. This is RAWF After Hours. I am your host, Lord Amadeus, the president and CEO of RAWF in the game we all know and love as Wrestler Unstoppable. Finally joining me after being MIA for a couple of weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
¡Hola, muchachos!
What the hell? All right. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome El Vacant. Hola, El Vacant. Sorry about the short intro there.
Hola, muchachos. What just happened? What was that?
It was nothing. At any rate,
It's a short intro for a big guy. I see.
Short intro for a big guy. Yes, we'll go with that. Anyways, how are you this evening, El Vacant? And where the hell have you been?
Fighting some tariffs, but don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we won't go into that one. All right. So, with that being said, sir, Unyielding in the books tonight. A huge night as we announce contendership matches, final rankings, and we officially start the journey to Immortal. So, before we get into all of that, I want to announce, if you haven't folks have out in Unstoppable, the Xanther the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament donation scene is up, and it has been going for about 36 hours or so here, and wow, we just had another one there. And so far, ladies and gentlemen, just taking a brief glance at what we've got thus far, 126 million over 126 million coins, 2,335 wrestler bucks, an entrance video, and a title belt are what we have collected thus far. We will keep taking donations for at least another week or two at the very least. And then eventually we will get that tournament sorted out, get it started, and get invites underway. But the Xanther, it's Immortal season, El Vacant, and the Xanther, of course, are always a huge part of it.
Always a huge part.
Yes. It is a huge part of the Immortal season. Also, a huge part of the Immortal season is the RAWF Hall of Fame announcements at Immortal. Whoever's going into this year's class of the Hall of Fame will be announced here in the next week or two. I'll be putting up the Hall of Fame suggestion scene, which, as it always is not a voting scene. It is a scene where you just make your opinion known. And the committee uses that in their own opinions as well to decide who will be going into the Hall of Fame at Radiversary in May. So that is what we'll be doing here in the next couple weeks as Immortal ramps up. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. Immortal, of course, coming to you live from Las Vegas here in the early part or late or April 6th. So hey, it's just a little over a month away, El Vacant, and I'm getting excited. What about you?
I'm always excited for Immortal. It's one of the biggest things of the year. Um, you know, and it always means the Hall of Fame, which is always again one of the highlights of the season for us. Um, Everyone brings out their best, brings out their A game. I love it.
Indeed, looking very much forward to it. All right, let's get to some event and GM reports. All right, so let's see here. We will start with, well, I'll start with my Hatfield and McCoy report. A couple days ago, I started sign-ups for the Hatfield and McCoy event. And here in a couple days, I'll close them. But so far, already 27 people signed up. If you haven't signed up for Hatfield and McCoy, uh, just find the link for Hatfield and McCoy on the RAWF main page and still sign up. You have to sign up for either Hatfield or McCoy. Read the rules, folks. That's what I always say. All
He
right.
does all the time. I can't make him stop. Sometimes even when it doesn't make sense.
Unstoppabot has a brief tag report. Congratulations to the miserable effers, Strangleheart and Rick Nelson, on successfully retaining the tag team titles at Unyielding. So they will go to Immortal as the defending tag team champions. So that's pretty cool. They're starting to make a case just slightly. They got a long way to go before they break any records, but right now they've been pretty steady. Wins over Dungeons and Dragons and Thunderstruck, and they're making a case here real early. What are your thoughts on the miserable effers?
Look, I gotta be honest. I wasn't a believer when they first managed to get the titles, but they are making a believer out of me. They've held these titles now for a little bit, and like you said, against some very serious competition. So, you know, I voice my opinions when I have them, but I also say when I was wrong, and clearly I was wrong.
Yeah, indeed. It was. I am surprised at how long they've held the titles, but then again, Strangleheart's been on a quest for those tag team titles for a long time. He's tried several different partners. He tried several different partners before Rick Nelson. Finally, found one in Rick Nelson that he could win the tag belts with, and it worked out for him. So we will see. We will see if it continues to how they do. Unyielding should be very interesting for them. All right,
You
I
mean
believe
Immortal?
yes, Immortal. Ugh. Okay. At any rate, I'm going to bring Maeve in real quick. She has a couple of things to report. Maeve, are you there?
I'm here, Rossman. Hello, Vacant.
Oh, hi.
You doing all right, lad?
I mean, better now that you're not mad at me.
I'm never gonna hear the end of me being upset with you. Anyway, yeah, I've got a couple of announcements. One is that we are one match away from the semifinals of the Bridget Tourney. We are just waiting on the results of Knox Boogie versus Flynn Savage, and then we'll go into our final four. And then also on behalf of NMW, where, as some of you may remember, I used to wear a GM hat and occasionally I do a bit of charity work. And with it coming up, I was feeling generous. They are hosting a Women's World Cup. So any woman in the world is welcome to join the tournament. If you are not a member of NMW, you can speak to myself or Mystic or the Extreme Enigma, and we'll be happy to get you an invite. I mean, I'm going to win it, so it don't much signify who else signs up, but I promised Misty that I would put in a good word for him. So there it is.
All right. Thank you, Maeve. Wonderful job. We will talk to you in just a little bit because you definitely have something to talk about, and you'll find out what it is momentarily.
I love when he does that.
All right. Some other news here in RAWF. First of all, the case has been solved ladies and gentlemen. We found out who Destroyer's stalker was. We had some surprises the other day. We found out that Destroyer's stalker was actually an RAWF cameraman by the name of JT. Did you happen to catch that, O'Legan?
I did, and it's funny because I'm pretty close with Bob, and he had said something about like the guy gave him the heebie-jeebies, but never really went beyond that. So man, you know what? When Bob tells me from now on that he thinks somebody's hinky, I'm gonna believe him.
So Destroyer was confronted by this JT backstage, and it looked like that he was going to, well, let's face it, murder her. But she was rescued by, of all things, the last thing you would expect, Mama Moose to the rescue. Mama Moose stomping a mud hole in this cameraman JT, and rescuing Destroyer. Uh, what do you think about what happened there? Any get
I do not know, but I will say that is one forgiving moose.
that? It must be, but Destroyer rescued by Mama Moose, and then it gets a little bit better. We find out that afterwards that Chris Cage and Destroyer are a couple. I didn't see that one coming. Did you?
I mean, I had an inkling of it a while back because I saw them kind of like a lot of late night chattiness out and about. But that kind of went away, so I was like, oh well, maybe I'm wrong. And then now we got this, so I guess I wasn't wrong.
No, you were not. So wow, that was an extremely end. That was a great end to a great story. And wow, we will see what happens going forward. I have a feeling it's going to be it was going to get interesting tomorrow. To be honest with you, and I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. Uh, but first, let's get to our. We turn our attention to what all transpired at Unyielding.
Oh yes, let's.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here are your official results from Unyielding. 1 second. Go. Oh, come on. Bear with me. There we go. All right. So, it was a very interesting evening. Hotshot Chaz defeated Mark Caliber in their steel cage match. The Paragon of Greatness defeated Ken Costa in their challenge match. Eva defeated Soul Reaper in their first blood match. Aaron McFadden, no surprise, a winner over Mystic Maniac for the Champions Choice Championship. We have a new Hatfield and McCoy champion as Blake Bradley defeated Chris Cage to become the new Hatfield and McCoy champion. We knew that was interesting to say the least. I didn't know what was going to happen there, but I mean,
didn't you?
Did you see this particular outcome coming?
Yes, I called it the night before the show before the pay-per-view.
You did. All right, fair enough. So Blake Bradley defeated Chris Cage to win.
For loose enough definition of the word defeat, sure.
Yeah, sure. Arcana Clash Championship, Cy Seabell defeated Vex to retain the Arcana Clash Championship. It was a great night for Seabell. We'll talk about that in a second here. Nightcrawler retained the Powerball Championship against Tigress. As I mentioned, the Miserable Effers retained the tag team titles against Dungeons and Dragons. We have a new multimedia champion. Extreme Enigma defeated Tigress to become the new multimedia champion. And what are your thoughts on Enigma finally getting over the hump on pay-per-view?
First, called that one too. Second, I said they were due. And I said, of all the titles, this is the one that made the most sense because the multimedia champion is supposed to be the mouth of the company, and you can't shut Enigma up with a roll of duct tape and an old gym sock. So they're going to be perfect in this role. And apparently, from what I've been seeing out and about in the industry, they've already started. They hit the ground running.
Yeah, they did. They certainly did, and I believe we will hear from them here in just a little bit. As a matter of fact, after we're done with the Unyielding review, uh, we have a new Triple Crown champion. Seabell defeated Sassy Applebee's in a star shot. She's now Seabell two belts. Seabell two belts. Yeah, as she is the new Triple Crown champion. Your thoughts on Seabell now holding two championships for the Elevated Society?
Look, good for her. I've said a few times I don't care for her current affiliation, but I will say this: that ever since she made her last return, she was very clear that she had returned with a clearer head, with more drive, and really intended to break through some walls that she had on herself and her career, and she's been doing that. And more power to her.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Definitely the best that I've seen her throughout her entire RAWF career. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So moving on, Mortal Griffith retained the Fubar C championship against Ken Costa. Was not a great night for Ken Costa in the win-loss column. Nightcrawler is your new Midnight Hobo champion after defeating Billy Gunn. Congratulations to Nightcrawler. Quick thoughts on that match?
Like I said earlier, when I'm wrong, I will admit it, because I called that one wrong, and Nightcrawler proved me 100% off my mark on that match. Congratulations to Nightcrawler. I really, really thought that, if Hobo went into that match clear-headed and not distracted, that he was just going to win. And, I didn't feel like he was overly distracted, and Nightcrawler still took the W.
Yep, indeed. New Midnight Hobo champion Nightcrawler. Congratulations to NC. Here's another one. I don't think you saw it coming for sure. I didn't see it coming. We have a new estrogen champion, Miss Beautifatal. The new estrogen champion defeating DW, who
I don't think anyone called that one.
Of course, chose Miss Beautifatal as DW won the Biatch of the Month as estrogen champion, chose Miss Beautifatal as her opponent, and then turned around and lose the title to Miss Beautifatal, her Miss B's first major title here in RAWF. Your quick thoughts?
Again, like I said, no one called that. And I think, DW was probably taken a little off guard by Miss B's, tenacity that night. And good for her. She now has her first, like you said, her first ever champion here in RAWF. I am excited to see what she does with it.
Indeed. The Immortal Griffith defeated Hotshot Chaz to retain the men's championship, so the Immortal Griffith still has three championships and will probably go to Immortal with all three titles. Simply the Best, still your national champion after defeating Hobo Ezekiel. Killer Neptune regained the Platinum Dragon Championship and is now. You did. You did call that one, and so now Killer Neptune, the first person to ever hold that title 6 times. 6-time Platinum Dragon champion, Killer Neptune. Congratulations to Killer. Defeating D's. And then the Paragon of Greatness successfully retained the World Heavyweight Championship against STB in the main event at Unyielding. Your thoughts?
There's a lot of things we've talked about, you just sped through, that I had thoughts on. But on the main event, I said from day one that there was no way on this green earth that Paragon went through everything he went through to win that title finally, that he was going to allow himself to be a transitional champion. And I was right, because he didn't. Because not only did he win, but he won decisively. And again, that's over STB. This man has been a champion before. He is constantly in the top of the rankings. This is not a slight on him at all or his skills. He is an amazing wrestler. But when Paragon is driven and isn't doubting himself and isn't his own worst enemy, that man is almost unstoppable. And we saw that at the pay-per-view.
So Paragon goes to Immortal as the world heavyweight champion. Not the first time in his career he's done so. So, but interesting enough, it could very well get interesting at Immortal. We will see. But before we find that out, you know what it's time for now?
Oh, I think I do.
You do?
Tacos! No? Oh.
No. It is time for you to inform everybody on what the final period rankings are.
And then tacos?
There'll be a time for tacos, I promise.
There's always a time for tacos. All right. Here we go, everybody. So, like I said, this is the final matches, and this is what's going to determine, who gets what contender matches, etc., etc., etc. So, we'll just start at the bottom, work our way up, and get right to it. In 25th place, we have the Cougar. In 24th place, Wait, really? Is this right, boss? Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, good for him. In 20th place, we have Joey A. I genuinely never thought I would say that.
24th place, Joey A. His first time ever in the top 25.
Yep, good for him. In 23rd place, we have Davila. In 22nd place, we have Flynn Savage. In 21st place, we have the Magnificent Michael. In 20th place, we have Uber Vegan TPO. In 19th, we have Billy Gunn. In 18th place, we have everyone's favorite rafter dweller, Eva. In 17th place with a bullet, and probably actually a can of beer more than a bullet, but whatever. The Redneck Avenger. In 16th place, we have the Triple Crown and Arcana Clash champion, Cybelly 2 Belts. Go her. In 15th place, we have our new Midnight Hobo champion, Nightcrawler. In 14th place, even though you said he had not a particularly good night at the pay-per-view, he stayed right around the middle of the pack. Ken Costa. In 13th place, our current Superstars champion, Papa Shaker. In 12th place, our new multimedia champion, the Extreme Enigma. In 11th place, we just talked to her once. We're going to be talking to her again, and I see her out there. Hola, Maeve. You're in 11th place. There you go. This brings us to the top 10. This is where some of the big matches come out of. So here we go. If everyone ready, hold on to your seats. In 10th place, we have the After Hours champion, Ha-Cha-Chaz. In 9th place, we have the White Lightning champion, Christopher Cage. In 8th place, we have Destroyer. In 7th place, it's been a while since he's finished this far up. Good for him. Is Knox Boogie. In 6th place, we have, oh, look at that. Clickety clack. It's a Hobo Attack. That's right. Hobo Ezekiel's in 6th place. In 5th place, we have Diesel Warrior. In 4th place, we have the Hatfield and McCoy and Anything Goes champion, Blake motherfucking Bradley. In 3rd place, we have our new Platinum Dragon champion, Killa Neptune. In 2nd place, we have our national champion and Iron Fist champion, Simply the Best. And in 1st place, that leaves us, and if you haven't been paying attention, maybe this will come as a surprise, but I'm going to ask what the hell rock you've been living under. Our extra point winner and our world heavyweight champion, Paragon of Greatness.
So, what does this all mean for our contender matches here tomorrow in Toronto? Well, all right, so these are the contender matches for tomorrow's Superstars. The winners, of course, go on to challenge the champions of those respective titles at Immortal. This is a big one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me grab it. There it is. All right. So, first of all, on the card tomorrow for the Superstars Championship, Papa Shaker takes on Magnificent Michael. Multimedia contendership match. It will be Billy Gunn versus Uber Vegan TPO. Your thoughts on that one, real quick?
Uber Vegan versus TPO, huh?
No, Billy Gunn versus TPO.
Why did I hear? Okay, apparently I'm not paying it. Yes. Um. I'm gonna go with Billy.
I can't disagree with you on that one. I think Billy's motivated, former multimedia champion himself, and I think I think he's got something to prove. He's been, he was unsuccessful at getting a title. He lost the Midnight Hobo Championship at Unyielding. I'm sure he wants to bounce back. And I think Enigma versus Billy Gunn for the Multimedia Championship at Immortal would be fantastic. I would love that matchup. 2 Triple Crown contendership matches. Are you listening? Are you listening?
Sort of. Sure, we'll go with that.
All right. The first Triple Crown contendership match, it will be Ken Costa.
Right, Ken Costa. Okay.
Ken Costa versus Eva.
And Eva. Okay, cool.
And your thoughts on that?
Oh, you want to go one at a time? All right, cool. Ken Costa versus Eva. History just says I got to go with Eva on this one.
Really?
I mean, look at her.
I don't know. I don't know that I agree with that one necessarily. I think, despite the fact he did lose 2 matches, he lost it to the 2 best wrestlers in RAWF.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, they're both coming up. They're both coming off losses out of this pay-per-view.
Yes. So I think Ken has the slight edge here. I think we see Ken Costa in the Triple Crown title match. The other Triple Crown contendership match, it is Papa Shaker versus Redneck Avenger.
Oh.
Remember
that's just going to be a beatdown is what that's going to be.
Well, for who?
I don't know, but somebody's going to... I mean, I think they're both just going to beat the living hell out of each other.
I know we're looking at a situation now with Seabell with the Triple Crown Championship that if another member of the Elevated Society gets into that match, it's almost it's virtually going to be whoever wins between Ken Costa and Eva, impossible to win that Triple Crown Championship. I think Shaker. I think the Society may have the edge here against my old buddy Redneck, but we'll see. We shall see. So here's one. This one gets. Here's where it really gets interesting. So you weren't here last week, El Vacant.
I was not. You're correct.
Hot Shot Chaz defeated Maeve to become the new After Hours champion.
I'm not cool with that, but continue.
So Chaz and Maeve, they've had quite the rivalry as of late, and guess what? It continues tomorrow in a Fubar City street fight for an opportunity for the Fubar City Championship tomorrow.
So let me get this straight. Chaz and Maeve, who've been battling on and off now for months, have to face each other to see who gets to go to Immortal to face Griffith.
That is correct. For the Fubar City Championship, a title both of them know very well.
That's just funny.
You can't make this stuff up, ladies and gentlemen. This is just how it fell. It's these two can't get away from each other. But at any rate, so that is for the Fubar City. The Midnight Hobo contendership match also gets interesting. We mentioned earlier Destroyer and Chris Cage being a couple. Well, they have to face off tomorrow to see who will face Nightcrawler for the Midnight Hobo Championship at Immortal. Your thoughts?
I, what is this? Love hurts? Did we go back in time?
Right? That's well. It, it's interesting.
It happens. This is what happens when you have unyielding instead of love hurts. The universe goes,
Yeah, I guess tomorrow.
But yeah, but again, did we lose you? Hello? Sir? Hello? All right, we seem to be having some technical difficulties. Boss man is being quiet. But yeah, I think that's another interesting match. Destroyer versus Chris Cage. I would,
Sorry,
all things being equal. You're back? Okay.
technical difficulties. Please forgive.
Yeah, I was trying to cover for you.
I appreciate it. So at any rate, yeah. Still little glitches in the studio right now. All right.
Yeah. But as I was saying, I think for that match, I kind of have to lean towards Chris. But who knows? Who knows how this budding relationship will affect what they are and aren't willing to do in the ring?
Indeed. It should be a very interesting Midnight Hobo contender match. National title contender match. Hobo Ezekiel versus Knox Boogie. The winner goes on to see who faces STB for the national title. Could be a rematch of Unyielding with STB versus Hobo, or we could see Knox Boogie getting his first title shot, singles title shot
In a while.
in a while.
I don't know. So now that we're assuming Mama Moose is out of danger and Hobo can concentrate, my money's gonna be on Hobo.
I'm going to lean towards Knox on this.
All right.
I'm going to lean. I lean towards Knox. I could be very wrong, because but yeah, I think Knox. I think Hobo had his opportunity. I think it might be Knox's time to shine. We shall find out. Platinum Dragon contendership match. It will be Blake Bradley versus DW Diesel Warrior to see who will face Killer Neptune for the Platinum Dragon Championship at Immortal. Your thoughts?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Blake Bradley versus DW for an opportunity for the Platinum Dragon Championship at Immortal.
That's a good one. That's a good match, actually. I think on paper Blake has this, but I think DW. Here's the thing I've noticed about DW. Whenever she loses a title, she kind of gets a bug, kind of somewhere, and then she fights back harder, right? Until she gets another title. That being true, I think Blake is in for a hell of a fight, and this thing's a coin toss.
I can't disagree. I cannot disagree, and I slightly lean towards Blake. No offense to DW, but if she can win tomorrow, it'll be I won't be totally shocked. Let's put it that way. And then finally, opportunity to face the Paragon of Greatness in the main event of Immortal 12. You will either get a rematch of Unyielding between the Paragon of Greatness and Simply the Best, or we will get brother versus brother, the Paragon of Greatness defending against Killer Neptune.
That's a difficult one too. So SDB just fought really hard to get that title shot, and we saw how he reacted to not winning. Like there was a reaction. We'll just call it that. I think he's very motivated to get back into that match and to prove something. That being said, Killa just became the 6-time Platinum Dragon champion. I'm sure he would love to be at Immortal facing, Paragon of Greatness, his brother. That's the biggest pay-per-view of the year. I think they're both going to go into this match very motivated. There is an extra addition, though, for STB that isn't there for Killa, which is not, if he can go into that match in the right headspace, he gets to beat the living hell out of the man he wants to take the titles from's brother. And with the way he's been behaving lately, I think that's something he would enjoy.
I think so too. But here's the thing. It gets interesting if Killa wins, doesn't it? Killa,
Yes.
the only member.
Look, if I get to choose which pay-per-view match I get to see, I want to see the brothers face off
In the main event of Immortal for the biggest prize in RAWF.
Yes, exactly.
Considering that Paragon has faced the other two members of the Opaque Brotherhood in the main event at Immortal before, but not Killa, this could get interesting. It could get very interesting at Immortal 12. We shall find out tomorrow here in Toronto. All of those contender matches will happen, and we are excited to bring that to you live from the Rogers Center. All right. Well, now, with all of that being said, it's time to focus going forward towards Immortal 12. But first, we need to take a song and commercial break. We've got the debut of a new song here, El Vacant. And then I got to play your commercial. I'm sorry.
I hate that commercial.
Oh, wait. I forgot. This is a new one. There's a new one. Yeah.
What do you mean there's a new one?
All right. Well, folks, we're going to play a commercial and a song and a debut song here. And when we return, we will talk more about Immortal, talk with some of the participants in tomorrow's matches, and get their takes.
I didn't approve a new commercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. This is RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
No, really,
Chalupa of greatness.
Ay, del Raimundo no nos trajimos en la pinche cinta métrica.
Gracias, Carlos. Muy bino. When you're ordering from El Vacant's taco truck, every mouthful's a test of luck. That last chalupa used to be a cow named Chuck. So don't be shy and take a bite. Just don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised if that chalupa's still alive. Carlos, I think this is going to need some hot sauce as hot sauce.
Ay, del Raimundo no nos trajimos en la...
Carlos, I told you, Mama Moose is not on the menu. You ding-a-ling.
Welcome to the streets where the strong survive. No law, no rules, only the tough stay alive. We are the first blood on the ground. Every step you take, there's another showdown. Steel beats bone, fist is skin. We'll set the chances, no way to win. You fight or you fall, that's the only way. In Food Bar City, there's hell. Where broken men crawl, but nobody quits. The killers, the ones that corrupt. Every soul here is taking their shot. Still needs bone, fist and skin. No second chances, no way to win. You fight or you fall, that's the only way. In Food Bar City, there's hell to pay. Food Bar City, no turning back. No rules, no kings, just a world gone black. Fists like hammers, streets run red. Step inside and you're already dead. From the alleys to the underground pits, we're broken and crawl, but nobody quits. The dealers, the killers, the ones left to rot. Every soul here is taking their shot. Still needs bone, fist and skin. No second chances, no way to win. You fight or you fall, that's the only way. In Food Bar City, there's hell to pay. Food Bar City, no turning back. No rules, no kings, just a world gone black. Fists like hammers, streets run red. Step inside and you're already dead. There's no escape, no way out. Once you're in, you're stuck in the bout. So we get buried, the strong take hold. In Food Bar City, the brave grow cold. No kings, no rules, no gods above. Just fists, just fire, just pain and blood. Welcome to Food Bar City. Chances, no way to win. You fight or you fall, that's the only way. In Food Bar City, their brains go cold. There's no escape, no way out. Once you're in, you're stuck in the bout. The weak get the buried, the strong take hold. In Food Bar City, the brave grow cold. From no kings, no rules, no gods above. Just fists, just fire, just pain and blood. Welcome to Food Bar City.
All right, we are back. This is RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network. How'd you like your commercial, Ovega?
I hated it. I did
Why?
not agree with that.
What?
Every time this man decides to randomly make a quote-unquote commercial for my company, he keeps saying I have all these horrible food violations. I can guarantee you the chalupas are not still alive.
Oh goodness! I thought it was I thought it was well done. I thought he did. That's his best acting job of his entire career.
I hate all of you.
At any rate, ladies and gentlemen, it is officially Immortal season, and as I mentioned earlier, the donation scene for the Xanther the Platinum Dragon Memorial Tournament is up. Please JBS that scene for me over as much as you can over the next couple of weeks. I know that I appreciate everyone who does so. Appreciate everyone who's donated thus far. A couple notes on that real quick though. Uh, if you do donate wrestler bucks, I need to know when and how many almost immediately, because as some of you might be aware, there is a little glitch in Unstoppable where the transactions are not working, so I have to try to keep track of that manually, and so but it does not tell me who puts those in. So if you do so, you need to please inbox me and let me know immediately, just to make sure I keep the books balanced, if you will. And of course, if you do donate over 250K, you will get a special promo pick. I've already made like almost 30 promo picks, El Vacant. So that tells you how much people. It always shocks me every year how people are quick to donate to the Xanther, and I do. It is very much appreciated. So yeah, we are up over 120 million coins already, and we still got a ways to go. All right. So I mentioned tomorrow's superstars, but we mentioned all the contenders matches, but we do not know all the rest of the matchups. And for that, who do we go to, El Vacant?
That sounds like a go to my good buddy, Randy Emdraw.
Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, Randolph Mortimer Draw is here. Randy, good evening. How you doing, boss man? Happy Immortal this season or whatever the hell it is you're calling it. I got it. How's it going, El Vacant? Good to see you. Where the hell you been?
Yeah, I had some issues I had to deal with, but I'm back. I'm here. Everything's on the right side of the border, as it were. So we're good. How have you been? You stayed out of trouble?
Well, as best as I can, you know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Yeah.
I got your undercard matches here, and this one's interesting because we got a couple of newcomers to RAWF that just joined. Some big names, if you know what I'm saying. Did you see?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So let's get to this. We got Strangleheart taking on Tad Beaglewolf Dennis. Roger the Pirate takes on Nightcrawler. Sai takes on Dr. Kent. Big Papa takes on Rick Nelson. Luzon Warrior Quinn Falcon takes on the Agent of Hate. Sophia McFadden takes on Allie Knight. Flynn Savage to take on Black Lilith. The Razor takes on Boney. Kitty Kabam to take on Andy Price. Evan Deadly takes on the Moose. Johnny Mayhem takes on Extreme Enigma. Sassy Applebee's takes on Tigress. Seabell takes on Sean Hitman Hood. Nimue Winterfest or Winter Shard or whatever was she going by these days takes on that Cara DeVille. The Sisulu takes on Joey A. Paragon of Greatness to take on Toxic Megatron Avenger. Deez takes on Stormtrooper of Death. Big F and Hitman to take on Damia. Money Sue takes on excuse me, the Celtic Nightmare, the Soul Reaper. The Crippler to take on the Crow Mark Caliber. Aaron McFadden takes on Kayla the Governess. Undertaker takes on Wildfire. Cyro El Napolitano takes on the First Lady of Anarchy, the Cougar. Davila taking on in his RAWF debut, Dick Von Thunderpants. Now there's a name for you, Dick Von Thunderpants. El Vacant. That's I know he's popular, or I know he's kind of popular around the Indies and whatnot. His first time in RAWF. I'm curious to find out what you think old Dick there is gonna do here in RAWF.
Remains to be seen. We've had some indies come in and, hit the ground running and do some amazing stuff, i.e. look at Destroyer. We've had other indies that show up, think they're going to be the next hot thing, and do literally nothing. I mean, and there's too many to name that did that, and I won't bother naming them because they didn't do anything. So, who knows?
All right, we got Miss Beauty Fatal taking on Crazy Mama. Hot Cheese versus It's Angels, bitch. Greek God Jim Steele taking on another indie darling that I know is a big name, but he just joined RAWF. Des Bryan. Is it Des? It's Des, right?
Yes, Des Bryan. Short for Desmond.
So Desmond, talk. How do you think he'll do it? RAWF. What are your thoughts on him? I'm curious.
So, I mean, I actually know a little bit about his career from the Indies. He's pretty good in the ring. I think he'll do okay in that regard. I find he's not particularly great on the mic, but it's been a while since I followed his career, so hopefully that has improved, and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Natalia Nitro taking on Spectacular. The Minion versus Dark Warrior. Psycho Girl take on Kicker. Basic Jan takes on Marquis de Sade. Mystic Maniac takes on Crazy Serb. The Immortal Griffith takes on Mancunian Maniac. And in her RAWF debut, the names are just so crazy. Honey Thunder Apples. Now that's a name right there. Honey Thunder Apples taking on Bruiser Omega, and he's got like a million names now. He's like the dead Jungle King, Hollywood something or other, cerebral. I don't even know what to call him anymore. But anyways, that's your card for tomorrow's superstars. All right, and yeah, we do some big debuts tomorrow here in Toronto. We got, as he said, Dick Von Thunderpants. We've got Des Bryan has joined RAWF, and Honey Thunder Apples. Her and her husband, Dick Von Thunderpants, pants.
Thunder Pats. I like it.
Yeah, I don't think he would. But at any rate, and I guess they're also gonna team up in the tag team division eventually once the new season starts here in a few weeks. But yeah, some big names signing to RAWF. That it truly makes me. It's immortal season, and I'm feeling pretty good right now, all vacant. Let's see how our next guest is feeling, ladies and gentlemen. The new multimedia champion and our Arcana Clash general manager. Please welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Extreme Enigma, the multimedia champion. Good evening, Enigma.
Hello again, LA. Hello, El Vacants. How are we doing tonight?
Boy, I'm doing pretty good. You?
Cloud fucking 9.
Yeah, I bet you are. You finally got what you wanted. The Multimedia Championship. Already making some waves with that title, not just here at RWF, but out in the public as well. Talk to me what the plan is right now with the Multimedia Championship.
Like I said last week, plain and simple, we're talking Enigma World Tour. I've already been showing up in No Mercy Wrestling, showing off this title proudly. I've got plans to bring it to my own company, Legacy Championship Wrestling, pretty soon. Pretty much anywhere, whether I'm a GM or a wrestler, I'm showing this belt off proudly. A custom-made belt. In fact, if you haven't noticed, it's got a nice shade of green on there. I'm proud of this thing. I have not been this proud of a title since I won, not to just consistently plug the company, I swear, the title in my own company, Legacy Championship, a few years ago. This is, without a doubt, my best accomplishment so far.
I have to agree. It looks good on you for certain. Yeah, I kind of like the fact that you're taking that title to around the country, not just here in RWF. But yeah, congratulations, huge win at Unyielding. Now you're looking at either Billy Gunn or Uber Vegan TPO at Immortal, assuming you aren't going to try to defend that title before Immortal. You're looking at either TPO or Billy Gunn. Your thoughts on that matchup tomorrow?
Well, Between those two, can't ignore the recent history of losing to Billy Gunn in a bid for his title belt, so he would be really interesting. I wouldn't hate facing him. I do have to say, I fought Billy numerous times over the course of 10 plus years, 14 years even. I'd like to get my hands on a vegan match at Immortal. You know, everybody seems to sort of tap into a different element at the biggest show of the year, so seeing an Uber Vegan put a little bit of a possible extra energy into things really has me excited. Although LA, I think you're forgetting a certain match coming up here in a week or a couple weeks. That little challenge I received last week.
Oh, shoot, that's right. Remind me again who that was.
Get a load of this guy. Multimedia champs got to do everything around here. Ain't that quaint? Nah. So, for those of you unaware, including Blonde Man himself here, Ken Costa issued a challenge to me for the spell, and me being the gracious bastard I am, I told him, yeah, come at me, have at it. And dude, we're due to have that match. Like I said, either next week or the week after. Math's really hard when you're on top of the fucking world.
I'll admit, I forgot to write that down. I will do so right now.
And I even got another little challenge. I believe you caught that one.
You had another challenge.
Yeah. Oh my god, y'all in chat are right. The dementia killing us, man. No, Sai issued me a challenge there.
For the Multimedia Championship?
Yes, as well as well, she addressed a challenge as well about how I mentioned, the whole Triple Crown title thing. Let me give
Mm-hmm.
you all the little multimedia rundown. So, Sai decided to actually kind of do what I did with Griffith, what, half a year ago, with the whole I'm just gonna essentially there's a better term for this, but fuck it. She just said, "Hey, you can challenge me for my belt if I and LA let me pick my opponents." I being Sai in the situation. Of course, I don't know what your opinion on that is, but to me that sounds pretty fucking money. You know, the Arcana class champion versus the Arcana class GM. Sai 2 belts versus Enigma 1 belt and a pack of beer.
Okay. So, wait a minute. What titles would be on the line here?
She proposed a title for title match, if I remember correctly. But of course, that was also bit perfect storm of if I successfully defend against Ken. If not, I don't know if that challenge goes away. Hopefully, Sai out there in the chat can give us a little more indignation there. I'm not sure if the Triple Crown match will go on regardless, but I will just make it official here and say somehow, no matter how it goes between you and her, me and her, you, me, and her at a Denny's and fucking Saskatoon, Arkansas, figuring out how that works. But yeah, I'll make the official challenge official by challenging for that belt. If I say challenge one more time, feel free to throw a bottle of Midnight Hobo directly in my head.
Hold on, let me get one.
Well, let's see if you get past Ken Costin next week, and then we can discuss details of any title versus title matches. They happen so rarely here in RAWF. So we'd really have to discuss what happens, and especially with the Triple Crown title involved. I don't. This one would be new.
She
So
mentioned
we'd
saying that she had not a champion, excuse me, a challenger kind of tucked in her back pocket. So I don't know if she already has like. To me, it sounds like she already has plans in motion. She's just waiting for, I guess, you to contact her.
okay. We'll wait until see if you beat Ken Costa and retain that championship. And I don't know if after next week there'll actually be time before Immortal to get this challenge underway. It may have to wait.
Boo, waiting. Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, congratulations, multimedia championship. So talk to me. Let's say you do beat Ken Costa, and there is no challenge with Seabell. Then you're gonna either go to Immortal and face Billy Gunn or TPO. Do you have a preference?
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I'm really one uber vegan, but let's I'm gonna put on the big boy crown here for a second, lose the funniness. I'm gonna be real serious with you for a hot second here, LA. Billy Gunn, Ken Costa, uber vegan, Cy, fucking Randy Mortimer. I don't care who I'm in that ring with. I fought and clawed and dragged and practically begged at times to get this belt on my hands. And now that it's in my hands, I realized something. I realized something kind of a little worrying about myself here. You guys have seen me get a little obsessed here and there, mostly over a certain fake edgy fuck named Chris Cage, but I got a little bit of a session with this belt here. I don't think I want to let this go. No champion really does want to let go of their belt, but if I'm being completely honest, I think I'm willing to go the extra little mile there to keep this thing around my waist. I'm not worried about the journey to retaining a belt. I'm just worried about physically retaining it. So, like I said, it doesn't matter who's in that ring next week, the week after, at Immortal, especially at Immortal, the biggest stage of them all. Because I'll do whatever I have to do and even maybe challenge myself to channel my own inner Chris Cage, do a little bit of TV 14 pushing ratings violence if I have to, LA, because I was born to be the multimedia champion, and everyone else in this company was born to fucking kneel before me as champion.
Okay, I think there'll be a lot of people that disagree with that sentiment, but I like your confidence. El Vacant, any questions for the multimedia champion?
I think he's gonna pay for that sentence. I think.
All right. While we got you here, Enigma, Arcana Clash GM, do you have anything to report from the Arcana Clash division?
Sure do. Ladies and gentlemen, the Arcana Clash Season 6 signups are live. I shadow dropped them on you before and after hours, just to make you surprised. There are 20 spots available, roughly... Oh, fuck. Let me take a look at my watch here. Oh, wait, that's the Multimedia Championship. Very shiny. About 8 spots left. So get in that scene right now. Should be on the feed. People are joining it. People are getting involved. Why aren't you getting involved? Get up off your fucking ass, get in my scene, and come fight for the shiny spell in the fucking roster.
All right. All right. Well, Enigma, congratulations once again, and let's see if you can back that up. I mean, there's a lot. You said a lot tonight, and I have a feeling see if you can cash that check that your mouth just made. We'll see. But at any rate, good luck tomorrow. Or actually, who do you have tomorrow? Oh, Johnny Mayhem is your opponent tomorrow. Any thoughts on him?
Johnny's cool. Bar brother, fellow GBB Team Bar member. We fought at a bar. Bar. It's going to be a good match.
You seem to like that word.
All right. Thank you, Enigma, for your time, and we will talk to you again next week about the big match with Ken Costa for the Multimedia Championship.
Have a great night, LA. Drink Star Fuel!
I haven't tried that Star Fuel yet. Have you, El Vega?
No. I don't do energy drinks. They're bad for your liver.
But you'll have a shot of Midnight Hobo.
You've never seen me drink that.
That's true. Fair enough. Tequila's bad for your liver.
That's a dirty lie. You take that back right now.
All right. Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, challenged Bruiser Omega at Immortal in a Buried Alive match. Let's talk to...
Dark winds blow through the night. Ravens scream an eerie sight. Shadows dance in the moon's pale light. Soul Reaper wants no respite. Cloak of dread he wears so tight. Eyes like fire in the darkest
Ladies and gentlemen, calling in from, I believe, somewhere on the road is the Celtic Nightmare, the Soul Reaper. Reaper, are you
I'm
there?
here. I want to correct you on something you said earlier in the show. Eva did not win the first blood match.
We already corrected that. But
Yep, we already corrected that.
I didn't hear that, but yeah, although I'm not surprised that Bruiser Omega tried to cheap shot me afterwards.
Well, I mean, he did. And certainly there's some history there between the two of you. And apparently you want to settle it at Immortal in this Buried Alive match.
Oh yeah, after Immortal, we're
and
not
it's
going
not.
to see Bruiser Omega again.
What is his damn name these days? I know
I have
know
no
he's
idea.
Bruiser
He
Omega.
changes his name more than he probably changes his damn clothes.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
Bacon,
much.
it's good
I
to
don't
see
know
you
who
didn't
he
go
is.
boom, by the way.
no boom.
No.
Why would he go boom?
You don't remember? When I had made a comment about him maybe not wanting to start his truck up.
Yeah. All right. At any
Just
rate,
want to say it's good to see he didn't go
yeah.
boom.
So talk to me about this. Do you have history with Bruiser Omega in the Indies? Is this one of those things that you brought to RAWF or he brought to
No,
RAWF and wants to settle it here?
Wanting to beat him with an inch of his life because of the fact that he tucked his tail and ran before Black Friday. And now the yellow-bellied bastard wants to come back. This time, when he leaves, he's not coming back. Not after I'm done with him. He won't be coming back this time.
Okay. Well, we shall see. You're and I did not realize you won the match at Unyielding
No,
before. I apologize.
it's okay.
But yeah,
I heard it was like, now wait a minute.
but at any rate, so you're kind of on a roll, and it is the biggest pay-per-view of the year is Immortal. So I'm sure you'll be in the best
And
form.
while I'm in here, I need to inform Unstoppabot that effective immediately, the Hellhounds are disbanding due to some unforeseen circumstances. Unless I'm allowed to go it alone for the rest of this season.
Well, with that, you got a message on Unstoppabot.
Okay, so I'll leave it that be for now until I can get an answer from him. And maybe try to go it alone until I can find a replacement tag team partner.
You have to work that out.
I'll talk to him and then about that.
All right. So Nightcrawler did NC break up with you? Did he?
Just some unforeseen circumstances happened to where the Hellhounds he cannot continue as a member of the Hellhounds. It's not my place to say why, and I'm not going to do that. Get the reason why.
No, I thought maybe you ticked him off too much.
Oh no, we put the issue with Icon behind us, which that was a hell of a match too with Icon.
All right, Reaper. Well, unless you have some final things to say to Bruiser Omega while you're here, we'll move on. So, any final thoughts?
Don't run this time because there's nowhere you can hide this time because I will find you. And I'm going to bury you alive in Vegas.
All right, we shall see. Soul Reaper takes on Bruiser Omega.
Who am I facing again tomorrow before I go? I didn't catch that.
Let's see. Money Sue.
Oh. I think I faced him not too long ago in a... Don't know if it was in RAWF or if it was in USLs.
No, you face him again tomorrow. Good luck to you.
All right.
That was the Celtic Nightmare, the Soul Reaper. I gotta tell you though, El Vacant, the one thing that I can say about Soul Reaper, he's easy to book because he does his own booking at every pay-per-view.
Yes, absolutely do.
I gotta hand it to him there. All right, next up, ladies and gentlemen, he was not here last week to talk about his big victories at Unyielding, but he is here tonight. Please welcome the man who holds 3 championships: the men's heavyweight championship, the Fubar City Championship, and the Ultimate Gauntlet Championship at the moment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Yoo-hoo! I'll make you famous. The shadow of the moonlight, a figure stands alone, a warrior born. Through the ages, through the pain, his name etched in blood, forever torn. The Lion of London, he roars in the night. No mercy, no weakness, no end in sight. The inevitable rise, the tempest unleashed. Who shall fall when the Kraken's released? Through fire and blood, his hands are stained. He stands alone, with none to restrain. Unstoppable force, a wrath untamed. No kingdom of God can withstand his name. Griffins are beyond, the immortal one. Eternal champion, his war's never done. Hunter of monsters, a faction of one. In a world that's broken, he stands with none. The tempest rages, his head held high. An immortal legend that will never die. Through centuries of violence, his name never fades. He fights through the ages, his will never sways.
I am immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the program the immortal Griffith. Griffith, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Lord Amadeus.
Well, still the men's champion, still the Fubar City champion after Unyielding was said and done. Your thoughts on your 2 opponents?
I guess we'll start in order. Look, Ken came out there, had a lot to say. I don't understand why he thought that there was some personal vendetta in that match. He was simply my opponent, but he made a mistake, and he told me to bring it and to, end quote, hurt him. So I did. And he's a classic case of perhaps being careful what you wish for. And there's someone else out there that maybe wants to take note of that.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of people that should be taking note of that, to be honest with you, Griff, but especially considering it is indeed Immortal season. And I know you're ramped up for it. You always are. Talk to me about what this time of year means to you.
I mean, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's when the RAWF celebrates the most prolific champion that they've ever had, me, with the biggest event of the year. How would I not love that?
Ah, shoot. I had to let you have that for a moment. But so talk to me about the potential of possibly having to defend that Fubar City Championship against Maeve if she can get past Hotshot Chaz tomorrow.
Look, I think there's a strong chance Maeve will, in fact, be my challenger. But if Blaze, who's Blaze? If Chaz goes out and faces Maeve the way he faced me at Unyielding, that she's going to be in for a hell of a fight. I still think she'll win, but I think that's I saw something in Chaz at the pay-per-view that I hadn't seen in a while, and I was very impressed. And we'll get back to that in a bit. But if she does get the match and I have to face her, she's a god slayer. She knows what it means to be in the ring with each other. We've done that dance many a time and many a place. And I know that she will come at me with everything she has to try and take that title. And she knows I will do whatever it takes to keep that title. And at the end of that match, we will pick ourselves up, brush ourselves off, and continue to be the Godslayers.
I mean, I know you two have faced off in RAWF before, but I don't believe you've ever faced off for a title. And you certainly never faced off on pay-per-view. Am I wrong?
I don't believe we have an RAWF. I believe you're correct.
So this could be, I mean, this could be one of the premier matches, one of the premier matches at Immortal. Whether she, if it is her, definitely. Chaz, that's still going to be a match, but still great match. But who do you prefer? Would you prefer to see Chaz come back for another opportunity at the FUBAR Championship, or would you prefer your fellow Godslayer Maeve?
I mean, I always have more fun when I'm, rolling around with Maeve. So, what? What does that look?
I wasn't looking at you. I was looking at El Vacant, see how he reacted to that. But
That's
anyway,
who I was talking to too.
El Vacant?
No comment.
All right, fair enough. So, well, I mean, it is definitely my favorite time of the year as well. And of course, there's the Hall of Fame coming up, and I was just curious if you had any thoughts on who you thought might go into the Hall of Fame this year.
I'll be honest. Oh, you're talking to him.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah, the guest as opposed to the co-host. He was talking to me. Right. So, honestly, I haven't put a ton of thought to it yet. I always try to make sure, I go back and I study the tapes for the year and kind of see who really stood out before I make my recommendations to the committee. But I haven't had a chance to do that yet, so I don't want to speak out of turn yet, and then have someone feel like, oh, Griff said X, and then I don't nominate them. So
fair enough.
So are we not going to talk about my other match?
Oh yes, of course, the FUBAR Championship.
The match of the night. I mean, come on. That match had everything. And I have to give Chaz all of the credit in the world. That man would not stay down. 3 Godslayers, and he kept fighting.
Chaz was not going to go down easy. There's no doubt about it. He was. It was incredible. He wanted that men's championship in the worst way you could tell.
He did, but what he was not prepared for was for me to pull out the most devastating move in all of professional wrestling.
A cradle roll-up?
Correct.
Shout out to Simon Miller. Anyway, what's that?
We're going to get sued.
Oh, please. Anyway, at any rate, so yes, that was an incredible matchup. There's no doubt about it. Chaz was definitely game, and he might be coming for you again at Immortal, this time for the FUBAR Championship. We find out tomorrow. El Vacant, any questions for the Immortal one?
Oh yeah, I got one for you. We noticed you had a new song here tonight. How long is this going to last? Right now the pool's saying like 17 hours. You're funny.
I wasn't going to mention, and that's another RAWF record you do hold, the most theme songs in RAWF history.
I like music. What do you want?
Actually, I like this one. This one's really nice. But at any rate, Griffith, thank you for your time tonight. And let's see, who are you facing tomorrow?
I'm gonna back up because
Uh-oh.
someone is still running their mouth out there. Enigma, every time you run your mouth at me, you pay for it. And most times it costs you a belt. One more comment, and I'm taking that one too.
Oh boy. Griff, what? Jeez. He's already his plate's already full. You got your own problems. Don't worry about him. There's other people already lining up to kick his ass. All right.
I don't know. I think 4 belts would look really good.
All right. Thank you for your time, Griff. Appreciate it, and we will talk to you again soon.
Ashwingo, bye-bye. He just gets up and leaves. He doesn't say.
Yeah, that happens. All right. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to we talked to Griff about her and the potential that she may go to Immortal to challenge him for the championship. Let's bring her on, the first class lass, the one and only.
In the town where the shadows breathe, there's a name you won't ever speak. Molly Malone, she walked alone, her footsteps echo cold as stone. They said she cursed the midnight air with a heart too broken to repair. A wrong soul left in the dust, now they whisper that's what she'd get for trust. She was the ghost they couldn't save, a restless heart, a silent grave. Every word was a fleeting dream, every prayer a twisted scream.
Ladies and gentlemen, the lovely Maeve O'Hare now joining us here on After Hours. Good evening, lass.
Good evening, Bossman. Good evening, Vacant.
Oh, hi.
Well, English isn't certainly in a festive mood tonight.
One of these days they'll learn. It's just. Ugh.
I don't think learning from their mistakes is that one's strong suit.
Clearly.
At any rate, Maeve, I know you I know you weren't quite I know you weren't very tickled when you found out what your matchup and contender match was tomorrow.
All right, Bossman, I want you to look at this from the perspective, okay? So you're sitting there, minding your own business, pleased with how the pay-per-views turned out, glad to see that you moved up in the rankings. And then you get told that your reward for all your hard work is facing the same person you've faced about 500,000 times in the last calendar year. And if you beat them, you get to face your tag partner, who is awful mean when there's gold on the line.
I mean, yeah, I understand the angst. The angst, I can certainly understand that. But this was going to happen someday. You had to know that. You kind
you
of
know
been.
How hard I've been working to keep it from happening.
Yes, I do. For many years now, you have tried to avoid this happening, and
all right, let's go over what you just talked to English about. 3 title matches. He's won 2 of them. He's on his way to winning the 3rd. And you're like, oh, I don't understand why Maeve doesn't want to face him for the belt. You're as bad as Enigma not learning from the past.
Well, my thought is, here's the thing: if anyone's going to beat him for a title, it's got to be somebody that either gets extremely lucky or knows him extremely well. Who knows him?
I mean, it obviously worked for Mokorkra. I mean, I don't think anyone in this business knows English as well as Mokorkra does.
Well,
Speaking of
so
facing people a million times in the last calendar year.
yeah, true enough. But and I know it you know you and Chaz just can't stay away from each other.
Well, one of us can't stay away from the other one.
Yeah, I mean, last week he defeated you to win the After Hours Championship from you. Does that give it? Does that give him the momentum going into tomorrow?
No, it makes him more of a target because he's taken a belt from me, and I don't like it when folks take belts from me.
Nope, sir. She doesn't like it.
All right. Obviously, the title won't be on the line tomorrow, but a title opportunity. So forget about who is going to be the FUBAR champion at Immortal. Talk to me about. I mean, it's a championship you held proudly last year for a lot of the year. Yeah, you seem to have a lot of fun with it, with all the outfit changes and all the. We certainly enjoyed it very much. If you do beat Chaz tomorrow, are you going to do anything? Wear anything special at Immortal?
Well, of course I am. It's a title match at the biggest show of the year, and that was my tradition when I had the football title. But I'm gonna confess something to you, just between the three of us here. I don't remember most of my FUBAR run. Like, I've gone back and I've watched the tapes, and I'm like, yeah, that looks like me, and it sounds like me talking about it. And it's really uncanny to go back and see all this footage of myself and go, I have no memory of this match. I have no memory of this show. I have no memory of that outfit. I don't even know where I got some of those dresses.
I mean, I have at least one of. I mean, sorry.
You do what now?
Nothing.
I'm just gonna gloss over that because I have too much else on the plate right now to deal with that particular concern. So I think the thing that I like the most about this opportunity is not facing Chaz, although I always enjoy facing Chaz, and he's a good opponent, and I know he's going to give me a good match. And it's certainly not trying to take a belt off of English at his pay-per-view. Because if you've noticed, he's awful protective over Immortal. So you get Immortal and a belt in front of him, and he's just a whole other thing. But I think the thing that's the most appealing to me is the thought that this can actually be my FUBAR run, that I'm fully in control of, I'm fully cognizant of, and so I'm going to make the most of it. Of course, I want to win the Immortal match. And the good thing is, if I go on to Immortal and I face English, then either way, that belt's going home with a Godslayer. And you can't say fairer than that. So good luck to Chaz. Just not too much luck, because I really would like to have that match as Immortal, even if it is against my own partner. Because at the very least, I do, as he said, always have fun rolling around on the mat with him.
Still no comment.
Something wrong, Vacant?
Nope.
At any rate, personally for me, and this is nothing against Chaz, because Chaz versus Griff would be terrific at Immortal. I want to see the Godslayers go at it for the FUBAR championship.
You've been trying to get the Godslayers to go after each other for a belt for about 4 years now.
I
You
have
were doing
not.
this before the Godslayers were a thing.
I have not. That's not true.
Every time things come up, oh, it'd be really interesting if Maeve had to go face Griff for this belt, or oh, Maeve's the champion. What would it mean if Griff came after that title? You're obsessed, all of you. Yourself, Vacant, the audience, the fans. That's all I ever hear about. Well, wouldn't you like to face Griff for this, or wouldn't you not want to face Griff for that? It's absurd. I don't understand why folks can't just let the Godslayers do Godslayer things. It's what we do best, and not worry about who's carrying which belt.
Griff's. I agree with Griff there.
I mean, of course, it's good money. you're gonna be coining money at this match. You're gonna have to open another bank account for all of it. It's gonna be a great match. I'm not saying it's not gonna be a good match. I'm saying that everyone gets all in their feelings about the idea of me and Griff facing each other, and I'm not sure why that is.
I just think it's been a long time coming, and it should have it was bound to happen someday.
I mean, it is a little odd that it has not happened yet.
And to be fair, it may still not happen. We don't know till tomorrow.
No, there's a hot shot between me and that match.
That's true.
And I understand that, and I'm certainly not by any means trying to overlook Chaz and say, "Oh, it don't matter because I'm going to win that match easily." And
no, that would be more likely something that Griff would say.
Only if Griff were facing somebody like Enigma.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little miffed with my partner though, as much as I adore English, because he swooped in and did what I was gonna do, which was to challenge Enigma for that title since they want to run their mouth so much. But at this point, I'll be queued up until this time next year, so I'm just gonna wait and watch what happens, because between Kinney and Seabell and English, there's no way that belt's staying there for too awful long.
There's a line. There's definitely a line for this one. He's created.
I've seen shorter queues at the taco truck.
Absolutely.
Speaking of vacant, I need to eat as many tacos and burritos and enchiladas as I can before Wednesday.
Yeah, see.
Oh no. That's right. It's going to start, isn't it?
It's going to start, and I'm going to be miserable. And I apologize in advance for what I'm going to say when I'm hungry.
I have an idea of what you can give up for Lent.
You can't give up fasting for Lent.
No, Lent. You can give up Lent for Lent.
You can't do that neither.
You can. You absolutely can. There's no rule.
I think my priest would disagree with you.
Well, I mean, by giving up Lent, you'd be giving up the priest, too.
Yeah, I'll let you explain that one to me, ma'am.
No.
Are you sure?
Because I am positive I have met you.
We're going to have the opportunity in just a couple of weeks.
Nope. We've met. No, thank you.
I was going to say, my ma'am likes you, and I don't think you want to risk that.
I don't.
I am certainly not going to talk you out of it.
I've also met your ma'am, and I don't think she would be concerned about trying to climb the 7-foot man to smack him in the back of the head.
Oh no, she'd have my dad lift her up on his shoulders so she could reach you.
All right. And yes, it's just a couple weeks away. Just a couple weeks.
We're gonna be in Dublin in a couple weeks.
Yes, we are.
Just before St. Patrick's Day. And as I've already said, you're both very welcome to come and stay with my family. But specifically, Boss Man.
Wait, you have enough bedrooms? Because I'm not bunking with El Vacant.
No, thank you.
I did that one time, and yeah, my eardrums are still rattling from his snoring.
You know, there are lasses who would pay good money to bunk with Vacant.
You snore, please. I thought a chainsaw went off in our room.
Are you sure it didn't?
Why would there be a chainsaw in your room?
Have you met my nephews?
Oh, that's true. They do get up to shenanigans. No, we have 2 spare bedrooms, so you can each have your own room.
Okay, that's good. I didn't know how big the house. I know they had the one guest room.
We have a second guest room. It doubles as my mom's sewing room, but there is a bed.
You get the sewing room, El Vacant.
Yes, let's take the bigger guy in the more cramped room. That makes sense.
I'll let you 2 fight for that. That's none of my business. You can.
This just in on the event before Ireland, LA versus El Vacant for who gets the bigger bed.
I called it, and I'm the boss. That's all there is to it.
I'll sneak in and sit on
here. At any rate, yes, just 2 weeks away before we go to Dublin, the day before St. Patrick's Day. Looking forward to that, Maeve, as always. And how long does Lent last?
40 days.
So wait a minute. We're going to be in Dublin.
Yeah.
You and your folks are going to be on Lent.
Well, there's 3 meals a day on Sunday. And St. Patrick's Day itself is not a fasted day, even if it falls in the middle of Lent.
So what you're saying is we should go to KFC on any day but Sunday and St. Patrick's Day.
You might be better off if you ate some meals away from the house on Saturday, and Sunday you'll have plenty to eat. There won't be any meat, but there'll be plenty to eat. And then Monday, it's St. Patrick's Day. That's all I can say to explain it. But you'll be well fed as long as you fend for yourself on Saturday.
All right. I'm glad we got all this out of the way now. Now I know to. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Because I gotta have proteins. I gotta have protein.
There's plenty of proteins that don't involve meat.
Beans don't count.
Now hold on.
I'm gonna let Vacant extol the virtues of beans and rice, and I'm gonna go sit outside.
You do that, Maeve.
I feel like this is gonna get heated.
Good luck to you tomorrow against Chaz. We will find out if indeed the big match at Immortal happens, whether it's you or Chaz versus the Immortal Griffith for the Fubarsi Championship. And don't start Vacant. We can have the argument later. We got a couple more.
There's no argument. I'm just gonna bring you some black beans and rice next week, and you're eat this. Maybe some dirty rice.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the lovely Mabel Hare. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning world heavyweight champion, just fresh off his successful defense against STB at Unyielding. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. First of the fallen and last of the old gods. No use fighting because you can't beat those cold odds. Beginning of time and the end of days. Civilizations crumble under his gaze. Alpha and Omega, the wrath of the God King. Paragon of greatness, about to pin you in that ring. Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. Eons ago, before time existed, they lived in the heavens and the rain persisted.
Ladies and gentlemen, the P to the O to the G, Big Purple, the Paragon of Greatness. Good evening, Paragon.
I wish it was a much better evening than it is. This should be a time for celebration. I've defended the RAWF World Heavyweight Championship, and yet again, I have cemented my way to the main event of Immortal. But I'm a little bit pissed off today, LA. I don't know if you caught it, but real salty is the challenger from Unyielding, and was not a very gracious loser.
Really? Please tell anyone who might have missed that what you're talking about.
Look, I tried. I tried my absolute best to give all the respect in the world to Simply the Best. I know that his choice and company are not people that I particularly care for, but even then I would try my best to extol the virtues of the group, what they were good at, what I liked about them, knowing that this was going to be a group effort match at Unyielding. And I came out of the gate strong. I held that advantage throughout. Simply the Best, to his credit, very resilient, would not stay down. I should have put him away a long time before I did. He started to make things a match again at one point, but more or less, I was in control this whole time. It should have been a night to remember after that referee slapped the mat 1, 2, 3. But Simply the Best, I guess, didn't have the same plans for the night and didn't have the same level of respect that I have for him, because when I climbed the turnbuckle to pose for our fans, allow a photo opportunity, raise my championship high, really soak in the moment, have that big moment, look at the immortal sign, know that I'm going again. Simply the Best clipped my knee from the turnbuckle, knocked me off of the post, and if that weren't enough, he took this belt, the symbol of everything that we work for here in RAWF. And he held it up and he drove it straight into my skull. Not once, but twice, leaving an unmistakable spot of red blood in a sea of gold, disrespecting this company, disrespecting me, and disrespecting this championship in the process. Simply the Best. I know that you're out there somewhere. I saw the rankings, and we'll talk a little bit more about the rankings here in a minute. But I want you to know that if you get your shot at a rematch at Immortal, respect is out the door.
Wow. So that means that either we're going to have a grudge match rematch in the main event at Immortal, or we're going to have a battle of the brothers. You killing Neptune.
Look, I love a great story. I think that everybody knows this. A proper wrestling narrative, a long told story with a satisfying ending at the right place. That's my whole jam. And I happen to be in a luxury spot here because regardless of anything else, I'm going to the main event of Immortal. And before me are two options. We've got Simply the Best, the man that has been neck and neck with me in the rankings for almost a year and a half. Somebody who has been the primary comparison as far as the two people that have been proving rankings excellence, constantly challenging for that championship over the last, again, year and a half or so. Two very similar wrestlers in style. We even kind of look a little bit similar. And that was where I thought the story was going to end until Simply the Best crossed the line at Unyielding and made it personal. Speaking of personal, our other option, the Forgotten Third Man. I think there's been a lot of attention paid to Simply the Best and Paragon of Greatness, our rankings race and battle for a long time. And I've kind of playfully made this joke about the Killa Neptune spot being third place. Ironically, look where Killa Neptune is. But I've playfully made this joke almost dismissively, kind of thrown this in Killa Neptune's face. A sibling rivalry we've always had. We love to troll each other, talk a lot of shit. But Killa Neptune has quietly put together the best streak of his multi-time Hall of Fame career. Multiple Platinum Dragon Championship reigns, consistent 3s, 2s, even some number 1s in the rankings. He's had some opportunities at that World Championship, and you could tell more than anything, Killa Neptune wants to finally be the RAWF World Heavyweight Champion. The one thing that's always eluded him, the thing that has haunted him his entire career, being pointed out as the runt of the opaque brotherhood, maybe the joke, the one that's not taken as seriously, but he's really buckled down and he's made it abundantly clear that he wants to step out of that shadow and come Immortal. Should he beat Simply the Best, he has that opportunity. He has the opportunity against the perfect opponent as well. There are absolutely a good deal of people that are going to go out of their way to ruin it for Killer Neptune if he becomes the number one contender. They're going to poo-poo all over his journey, all over his story, but I don't think that that's going to stop him. I don't think it's going to get to his head because it means too much, and for him to be able to do that and potentially beat his older brother, the one that he's constantly compared to, the one that has made a good portion of his career a joke to other people. There is no better fairy tale ending for Killer Neptune's story than to walk out of the main event of Immortal having defeated Paragon of Greatness for the World Heavyweight Championship. I stand looking at two paths, and both of them are a fantastic story. Here's the thing, Amadeus. I've said it a bunch of times, and I will continue to say it. I'm the monster at the end of this book. And in real life, the monster usually wins. STB, you can bring your arsenal, you can bring an army of people with you. The fact of the matter is, I've already shown that you cannot stop me. And Killer Neptune, again, with all of the respect to everything you're doing, I'm proud of you. I love you, Killer Neptune. But this is Immortal. We're not talking about a B tier pay-per-view where I might feel some sympathy for my younger brother, want to see him complete this chapter of his journey. This is Immortal. And we've seen this story enough times to know what's going to happen.
Well, it will be an incredible night. Either way, whether it be STB or Killer Neptune for that World Heavyweight Championship at Immortal. Uh, I don't. But you will also apparently have another match at Immortal, and that again, he stepped up last week while we were here, and wanted to challenge you to a rematch from Unyielding. Uh, Talk to me about talk to me that you've had a week to process Ken Costa stepping up and wanting another match against you.
Well, look, it's we're going to Immortal. It's in Vegas. Last week we were making some jokes about taking some bets on who was going to get that first confirmed match, and Soul Reaper was what we were talking about, the overwhelming odds. But actually, Ken came in and challenged me before that, so I think that we all kind of lost that bet. No, Ken is. I'm trying to find the most polite way to put this.
Dead meat.
Ken is a very enthusiastic guy. I think that he has a tendency to bite off more than he can chew, and we saw that at Unyielding. I've got to admire his tenacity, to not let that loss define him, rather let it motivate him. That's kind of what I've been trying to teach him from the moment he has entered RAWF. We're talking as far back as before his hiatus. I've had a lot of interactions with Ken Costa. I've tried to step into the position of a mentor role for him. I see a lot of myself in Ken Costa. It's been met with a lot of friction. The guy doesn't like to take advice, doesn't feel like he has anything else to learn, and that's fine. I've experienced this before in the past. There, oftentimes, some of the people that I try to help will throw it back in my face, refuse to acknowledge what I'm trying to impart to them, and in fact be resentful of it. Look, in the past, people like Mark Caliber, people like Aaron McFadden, hell, even our own former world heavyweight champion, the unsettled Chris Cage, before his big run to the top, he and myself were engaged in a very long battle where all I was trying to do was teach him how to be the best version of himself. Oftentimes, goodwill is unfortunately met with hostility in these places, especially here in RAWF and in Wrestler Unstoppable. It seems like the nicer you are, the more people dislike you. It's baffling to me, but I can't and won't let that change who I am as a person. I admire Ken Costa. I think Ken Costa is absolutely the future of RAWF, and having this match, it's a very personal match to him, and for me, it's very personal for a different reason. I'm not looking for revenge. I'm not looking for violence. I'm looking to do right by somebody who deserves to have right done by them. So I'm not going to take it easy on Ken. I think that he needs to have a lesson beaten into him if he refuses to listen to it. And that brings me back to full circle of when I was talking about Ken, because Immortal, it's in Vegas. We may have gotten our odds a bit wrong on who had that first confirmed match for Immortal, but whether it be Simply the Best, Killa Neptune, Ken Costa, I'm saying after Unyielding, we need to let it ride and put it all on purple, because in Las Vegas, it's going to be a big night for Paragon of Greatness.
All right. Vacant, anything you'd like to ask the champ?
Again, he doesn't leave me a lot of room. He has a lot to say. He doesn't leave a lot of blank space. So no.
I can start talking, like being much more vague, so that we can give you some stuff to do, Vacant.
That'd be nice. It'd be helpful. It'd help me do my job.
Well, at any rate, I don't know. Okay, fine. Let's talk about the Xanther Memorial Tournament. I know that holds a special place in your heart, mainly because you spend every Immortal season spamming that feed all night, every night, until we get all the donations. Talk to me about that yearly regimen.
Well, I think that my enthusiasm for the tournament is twofold, and that's why it kind of feels awkward talking about it in this manner, because I don't think that it's important how important it is to me. I think that it is important how important it is to everyone. This tournament, like I said, not only represents Xanther, somebody who was foundational to this company, that meant a lot to a lot of people who were the originators of this company, but over the years, we've transitioned this tournament to also represent a lot of other people that we've lost along the way, the people that helped create the story that is RAWF. And I think to be able to honor the people that can no longer tell those stories is one of the most moving and truly blessed things that we can do. To not let those people fall to obscurity, to not forget the people that got us here, and to continue to honor their memory year after year with the biggest tournament in this industry. It's something that I think that a lot of people hold dear and close to their heart, and I just try my best to do right by those people and to contribute to something that I think is the single most worthwhile event year round in the entirety of the sport.
Agreed, and I look very much forward. I appreciate the fact that you spend spend a lot of evenings just sharing that. You're the night shift chair, if we will. But
Gotta love that it's the night shift too, so nobody's around. I'm just spamming into the wind a lot of times.
But you know what? It's still occasionally you'll get one. So occasionally you'll get one or two. So appreciate you, Paragon, and we will see tomorrow's a big night. Killa Neptune or STB? Who will it be at Immortal? We find out tomorrow here in Toronto. Thank you very much, Paragon. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you again next week.
Thank you.
All right. So, wow. It is indeed that the greatest time of the year here in RAWF, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Hall of Fame coming up. We got the Xanther coming up. We have Immortal coming up. It's all coming. It's the best. It is indeed the best time of the year. Time to talk to a man who also has an opportunity to tomorrow. He could go on to challenge for the Triple Crown Championship at Immortal if he could get past Papa Shaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only.
Boots hit the dirt, stealing my stare. Six-pack of engines, I don't fight fair. Rattlesnake blood running through my veins. Mess with the best, you'll be feeling the pain. I'm a renegade, born a ball, raised on rage. Knuckles up, I set the stage. Drinking beer and kicking pain. Ain't no cage can hold my name. Redneck Avenger, don't need no crown. But you best believe I run this town. From back road bars to the squared circle, ain't no rules when I raise this hurdle. I don't tap out, I don't back down. You cross my line, you're going down.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is indeed the Redneck Avenger. R.A., are you there?
Oh my, yes I am. How you doing, LA?
Doing good, R.A.? R.A. and L.A., I like that. Anyways, big match tomorrow.
Woo.
Papa Shaker. Winner goes on to Immortal to be one of the two challengers for the Triple Crown Championship. Sir, how you feeling about this matchup?
And I'm feeling good and confident about it. Papa Shaker's always been a force. He's very talented and such, but you know, it's my time. It's my time.
It has been a while since you've held RAWF gold, so certainly hope rooting for you on this one. No offense to Papa Shaker, but got to root for the old renegade Haas. Talk to me about what that Triple Crown title would mean to you if you were able to go to Immortal and get that done.
You know what it would mean to me is I'm back. I'm back in the saddle again, build some momentum, and probably take this to places I hadn't taken it before. I've started putting more, let's just call it attention, to my matches in RAWF, and it's not that I didn't before. It was just a matter of resource allotment and other pieces and things. You know, Papa Shaker has not made the mistake that some have made, and that's make me put my whole attention on him. But this time, it ain't even about him. He's got my full attention. We're going to see what happens.
All right, we will indeed find out. And of course, the reigning Triple Crown champion is Seabill, a member of the Elevated Society. I'm sure there's some a little bit of motivation there to go and take that title away from the society.
Well, yeah, it's time to take it down a notch. I mean, like the sizzle is starting to kind of fade just a little bit. You know, it was that flash in the pan. You know, I've seen the flash. My eyeballs have adjusted back to the darkness, and we're gonna see what goes back on. It's just, here's my thing. You know, whenever I see these magical factions just pop up out of nowhere, say, "Hey, the whole world is ours," and blah 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 blah, all of that milquetoast shit. Keep talking. Don't care. You're gonna be gone next week.
I hear you.
Try and emphasize walking into the company whenever at its inception. Try and emphasize our people have held every one of the titles, defended them for long periods of time, and then go through ups and downs. People think you're down and out, but you spring back up, and keep a consistency and a consistent, relevant presence. Try that shit for about 12 years. I'm waiting.
Still waiting. We're still waiting.
Exactly.
Look, I mean, pretty much. The Renegades have been here since day one in RAWF. It's been
Absolutely.
Renegades, Anarchy, or I think a close second, if I'm being honest. But
That's the
Renegades
truth.
definitely.
That's the truth, and that's been a fun rivalry over the years. You know, sometimes it's been head-to-head rivalries. Sometimes it's been the unholy alliance. That was an interesting time. It was good though. You know, during the unholy alliance time, I really got to work with Jack a lot more than I did before. And so, I mean, it was a nice little nugget in time, and got to get back with some old friends from other places, and just turn a few things upside down, and that partnership kind of dissolved, and that was okay. I think it was good for both of us, and it's longevity, consistency, and seriousness. I mean that's the mark of somebody. So I think we've hit all those up and down the pipe for the entirety of the time, and if they want to follow in those footsteps, that's okay. But the key word, they are following, not leading, following in footsteps, and that doesn't need to get lost on anybody.
All right, talk to me about what the Xanther Memorial means to you. What this time of year means to you in RAWF.
Well,
I know you've.
Paragon touched on it. I didn't get that much time to interact with Xanther in the very beginning, because I mean that predated RAWF a little bit, and we were in one of your previous enterprises at that point, and always a great guy. I know what it's like to lose somebody that's very, very close to you, and Xanther was close to you and to Shifty, and in ways that I won't understand, because I wasn't that close, but I got to interact with him. I considered it an honor, and I consider this time to be a time to celebrate and remember friends that have gone on before. But also, I mean, it's a good time and a good collection of people, and the most competitive tournament by far of any other every year. This is 12th annual, correct?
12th annual, correct.
Yeah. Try something this big for 12 years straight. There's nothing that can touch it. And we're getting to honor one another, get to honor old friends, and just kind of take a step back, not in competition, but it gives an opportunity to step back and reflect on the blessings that we have, and the blessings that we had to be able to be a part of these people and have them be a part of us. So it's kind of a celebration and a very intense competition all at the same time. That's what this means to me.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not. I mean, Xanther's name is on it, but it's actually a tribute to all of our fallen friends. When there are a few of them out there.
Unfortunately, that's true. But as time goes by, we've been at this here in RAWF for what, 12, 13 years?
Yep.
I mean, Texas Ranger is about to graduate high school. I mean, damn it, man. He grew up with this.
He grew up watching his father beat people up here in RAWF and other places, Death or Glory and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's been a run. It's going to be, I think, 13 years this year.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing. We started in 2015.
No, y'all started before 2015.
2013. 2013.
Every
Sorry.
bit of it. No, that's all good. It is. I mean, having to reach back, look in the years, there's a lot of water that's passed under this bridge, and it's some good water. Some of it a little choppier than others at times, but it's been a very, very good run, and I'm proud and happy to be a part of it, keeping it running. So that's kind of what Xanther is, a good reflection on a lot of things that mean a lot to me.
Yep. All right. So, R.A., Papa Shaker tomorrow. Anything you have to say to him? I'm sure he's listening somewhere.
Keep listening. You're going to hear
it. You're going to see it tomorrow here in Toronto. All right, R.A., appreciate your time. El Vacant, did you want to talk to R.A. about anything?
One, we need to talk about another shipment. I'm running low on the beer for the trucks.
Right. Hey, Hank, did you hear that? Yep, I guess I'm going to get the trucks running. You're damn right. You're falling down on the job. Come on now. Yes, sir. Okay. Problem solved. Problem still solved.
Go Rangers. Sorry. You threw me off track there for a moment. I did actually have a question. What was it? Oh, God, no, what was it? Because that threw me off. I'm sorry. I'm having a senile moment, apparently.
That's all right. We were talking about Papa Shaker earlier.
It was about Papa Shaker. Oh, that's what it was. So, like I said earlier when we were talking about the match, I'm not sure if you were here at that point. I said that, this match is very going to be close to call. You're both very competitive. You're both very physical wrestlers. And I think it's going to be, somebody's going to get a beatdown. Frankly, I think both of you are going to get a beatdown. But one of you is going to manage to go out ahead. But that being said, like you have faced Papa Shaker countless times over your career, right? I mean, and I'm not going to ask what it is because I know you're too savvy. You're not going to tell us what your game plan is. But have you come up with anything different to give him this time around?
My full attention.
Yeah, like I've seen what your full attention looks like. So. Sorry about that, Shaker. I'm changing my vote. I think it's all right.
There you go.
All right. We shall find out tomorrow here live from the Rogers Center in Toronto. Will R.A. or Papa Shaker move on to compete for the Triple Crown Championship at Immortal 12? We find out tomorrow. R.A., always good to talk to you. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. Always is. Thank you.
All right. Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to run down those contender matches for tomorrow one more time. So we have for a shot at the Multimedia Championship at Immortal, we have Billy Gunn and Uber Vegan TPO. We have two Triple Crown contender matches: Ken Costa versus Eva, Papa Shaker versus R.A. We got Chaz versus Maeve O'Hare, Fubar City opportunity. Winner goes on to probably face Griff for the Fubar City Championship at Immortal. Destroyer and Chris Cage tomorrow. We just found out that there are a couple. Unfortunately, they face each other tomorrow for a shot at the Midnight Hobo Championship, currently held by Nightcrawler. That could be that's gonna be a great match either way.
Yes, it will. That's going to test the metal of. I guess somebody's going to initiate after that one.
Yeah. Well, of course, Chris Cage and Nightcrawler, a lot of history between those two in title matches here in RAWF. But Destroyer has been pretty strong since joining RAWF.
Yeah, don't take your eyes off Destroyer. Not for a blink.
Hobo.
After what happened here a couple weeks ago, I do not take my eyes off Destroyer.
Smart man.
National title, Hobo Ezekiel versus Knox Boogie. Winner goes on to meet STB. Blake Bradley versus DW in a Platinum Dragon contendership match. Winner faces Killer Neptune at Immortal for the Platinum Dragon Championship. And then, of course, STB versus Killa for a shot at Paragon's World Heavyweight Championship in the main event of Immortal 12. That is your lineup for tomorrow's Superstars here live from Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time to call it a night. I think I got everything out of the way. Yeah. All right. Good. And in that case, El Vacant, anything you'd like to say before we take off?
Please put your tables up and your chairs in an upright position. Acknowledge the no smoking sign and the seatbelt light is lit.
And please return your stewardess to her natural upright position as well.
That ain't happening.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network. Once I end the call, I will be uploading this to YouTube, hopefully this week. It works. We had a little glitch last week where we would not upload, so it should work this week. And we will see you all right here next week on RAWF After Hours. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.